Hello people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gora and I am an Abuja based Nigerian YouTuber. I have to call myself a repentant YouTuber. I'm really excited to be back, as you can see, and I'm ready for you guys, even though 2020 has already started to give us some, curves and turns here and there, but I am very excited to be back. So if you're new to this channel, if this is your first time here, you're very much welcome. Welcome to the family. And if you've been here before, thank you for sticking with my inconsistent ass. So yeah, let's jump right into this video. Today I'm going to be talking about weddings during this COVID-19 period, especially Nigerian weddings. Nigerian weddings are my focus. If you want to know more, if you want to get tips on how to manage your wedding even with this pandemic that has scattered all our plans this 2020, keep watching. Yes guys, so as we all know, COVID-19 aka coronavirus took us by a storm, a surprise. It shook the whole world. Like, nobody saw this really coming. Like, even when it started last year in China, I'm not sure that anybody really thought it was going to get to this level that it has gotten to. So now, whoever you are, wherever you are, the virus has really eaten deep into every country in the world, and we are all affected. And so it has actually affected a lot of our events, everything that people planned, especially in the early months of 2020. I, for one, decided to do this video because I have a friend whose wedding was supposed to be on April 18th. Yes, and she had to move her wedding because of this very crazy virus that has come to scatter all our heads. So guys, keep watching because I'll be spilling a lot of important facts. So just keep watching, okay? So the first thing you need to do is contact your planner. So if you do not have a planner, you need to sit down with your partner or with your family members or your friends, whoever you're coordinating your wedding with, and you need to start making some really very quick and important decisions. Number one is your wedding date. Already you had set your wedding date. Some people had not set their wedding dates, but if you had set your wedding date and you had to move your wedding date, this is not time for you to start precisely setting another date. In Nigeria, for instance, there's not going to be gatherings like it because as it is right now, we don't know which other twists and turns this pandemic is going to take. Some countries like in Nigeria have eased the lockdown because of the fact that many people are starving, many businesses are suffering, so they had to ease the lockdown. However, there is no certainty that the government will be allowing us to still have very big gatherings, religious gatherings generally. So it means that events like weddings too have to be on hold till further notice. So if you go and set your wedding for June, when we're not sure what June has to offer, that's going to be a big blow on your face again. So when we get to June now and we're still on lockdown, you have to move your event again. It doesn't make much sense, you see. So for dates, you have to be very, very careful. Another important factor that you need to consider with your planner, or like I said, if you don't have a planner, your partner or your wedding coordinator, whoever you're planning your wedding with, is your vendors. So for some people, they have already paid their vendors. Maybe you've paid your photographer, you've paid for your wedding venue, that's your hall, or if it's an outdoor wedding, you've paid for the space already. You've paid for food, that's catering, you've paid for your cake. If you have paid some of these vendors, then you need to contact your vendors actually. So you need to prioritize your vendors. Which vendors did you spend the most money on? As far as I'm concerned, those are the ones you need to contact first because there's a lot of money at stake here. So you need to contact your wedding venue management. And because everybody knows about COVID-19, so nobody's going to act like they're ignorant of the fact that there's something that has made you to want to change your date. So you need to be sure of what you signed. If you signed a contract, what does the contract say? Hope it's not something that has put you in trouble. Hope they're not going to, start telling you to pay any extra money. Hopefully not. But if that is the case, because of COVID-19, you have to negotiate with them. They have to understand that this is not a virus that you were the one or your family members were the ones that caused. This virus affected everybody. So for that, they have to make some exceptions on your behalf. So if you have signed something that maybe if you have to move your date, you have to pay extra money, that one cannot apply now because you're not the one that brought COVID-19 to Nigeria. You need to renegotiate with them and say, okay, because of this, we cannot set our date yet, so please, you have to understand with us, we've already paid our money. Maybe you paid 50% or you already paid full even. They have to understand, and it's not now going to be something that maybe they will start fighting you that you did not tell us on time or anything. No, you need to contact them so that they know that since our wedding can't hold, what's the way forward, so you guys can meet in the middle and find like a lasting solution to how it's going to go. Because I'm sure if it's like in Abuja, Nigeria now, there are a lot of halls that are very, very hot cake halls. Like people would have already paid till like maybe even 2021 now. So you need to actually discuss with them so that if there's any issue, you know that you're getting a refund and you're going to start looking for an alternative event venue to use before they all get booked. Also, other vendors like your photographer, your decorator, your hall decorator, your caterer, all these vendors need to be contacted so that you guys can actually make plans, alternative plans on how you're going to go about this date shift. Everybody, most of the vendors right now are going to be very understanding with you because they know the situation on ground. Another thing that I would like to add is that most vendors are very sought after. So if you really want to be able to keep some of the vendors that you have already booked, you need to be able to compromise. At this point, a lot of weddings are going to happen during weekdays. You cannot say right now that you must have your wedding on a Saturday again, except you're going to lose some of your vendors. So if you're the type of person who is very particular about using certain vendors, you may also have to compromise as a couple. So consider days like Fridays, consider days like Sunday, Thursday, that's days that are close to the weekend, because most of these vendors have already been booked by other couples too who had already planned their weddings towards the end of the year. So if your wedding was earlier, maybe in April, May, March, and has been shifted, you need to start considering other days of the week to have your wedding so that you can get or use your preferred vendors. My next point is for every couple who planned to travel for their wedding shopping. If you're a couple who had planned to travel to any country of your choice to shop for your wedding, well, the COVID-19 has definitely affected you. According to a CNN report, it says that 80 to 85, I think it's in 80 or 85, I'll confirm and put it on the screen, of wedding dresses that's Western wedding dresses, are produced in China. So that is even going to affect a lot of the production of wedding dresses as it is for this period. So my advice for brides would be that you need to start doing your wedding dress shopping from now. Yes, so go on Instagram, ask people around for very good bridal shops around you, so that when the lockdown reduces a bit and businesses start opening, you go and start searching for dresses before you will go to one shop now and they will have only 2 dresses left, or all the dresses that they will have on their racks, you don't like them. Because as it is now that they're saying wedding dresses mostly come from China, and actually I'm very sure of that most of the wedding bridal shops bring in dresses from China. It means that for this period they might or they will be limited. So you need to start considering if you want to make an alternative plan to maybe sew a nice wedding dress. And if you want to sew a nice wedding dress, you need to start contacting whoever is making your wedding dress, because it takes a few months to get these people on lock. Most of the people that I know that sew wedding dresses, Nigerian designers that make wedding dresses, like to have ample time. You need to contact them months and months before your wedding. So my next point is honeymoon. Obviously, because of the pandemic, a lot of people will have to shift or even cancel their honeymoons. Depending on how you planned your honeymoon, if you planned it with your partner, you need to start calling the people that you booked with. So call your hotel and let them know that because of the pandemic, obviously your booking has to be placed on an indefinite hold pending on when all this will end. Make sure that the airline leaves your tickets open so that you can use it whenever you're ready to travel. And if you used a travel agency to book your trip, then you need to liaise with them as well to be sure that everything is fine and good, and that when you and your partner are ready to go on your honeymoon, everything will still be set. Another point I would like to talk about is wedding souvenirs. So in Nigerian weddings, we like to show our appreciation to our guests for coming for our weddings by presenting them with gifts, and I'm sure that this is also very common in other parts of the world, not only in Nigeria. So if you have already printed your wedding date on your souvenir, you will have to go ahead and use those souvenirs like that. I don't think because you have moved or postponed your wedding because of a virus that is not you or your family member that caused, then you want to stress yourself to start changing, the date on the souvenir. Just leave it like that. Your guests will understand that it is not your fault and your wedding was moved, and this was originally supposed to be the date of your wedding. So let's talk about your wedding budget at this point. Your wedding budget might be slightly higher than you had planned for because of the fact that now in a country like Nigeria, everything affects prices. So as it is now, food prices have gone up, and this might affect your catering, the payments for your catering, because a lot of caterers might say, oh, rice is now more expensive, ingredients are now more expensive. I recently started hearing that baking things are way more pricey than they used to be, so it means that maybe the price of your cake might even be higher. So you need to put all these things into consideration so that you're not getting all worked up and angry when the time comes and you're contacting people for prices. Prices will definitely, or might, let me not say definitely, might go higher, and this might affect some of your choices. So it might make you to now say, okay, you want lesser guests so that you can be able to cater to all the guests that will be coming for your wedding. Also bear in mind that if you're the type of person that wants to use a particular vendor and the vendor has told you that they have been booked for the dates that you are looking at, then this vendor might actually say, if you really want me for these dates, you should pay a higher amount of money. So you either have to look for another vendor who offers the same service, who is more affordable, or if you really want that vendor, you might have to consider increasing your budget for the said service. Now let's talk about destination weddings. If you plan to have a destination wedding, COVID-19 has messed up with your plans, obviously. So you need to keep yourself informed with the location that you planned to have your wedding in. Every destination wedding will have to be on hold now. Watch the news and know what is going on there, so you know when the place is safe enough for you to start planning your wedding in that location. Also in your home country, you need to be sure that your home country is also safe enough for you to travel out. You might also want to consider moving your wedding to a very safe time, say sometime next year or when the pandemic is completely done. This is because it's a destination wedding. A lot of people are going to be coming from different locations. You don't want to have to gather people from different locations for a wedding that will not be safe. In fact, people will not even turn up for your wedding because, if it's not safe, if they're not safe to travel from their home country and your location, the location for your wedding is also not safe, then there's no way they're going to risk their lives to come celebrate with you only to fall sick. So you need to keep yourself very informed so that you know when to proceed with your plans for your destination wedding. You might also want to consider moving your wedding to a very safe time, say sometime next year or when the pandemic is completely done. This is because it's a destination wedding. A lot of people are going to be coming from different locations. You don't want to have to gather people from different locations for a wedding that will not be safe. In fact, people will not even turn up for your wedding because, if it's not safe, if they're not safe to travel from their home country and your location, the location for your wedding is also not safe, then there's no way they're going to risk their lives to come celebrate with you only to fall sick. So you need to keep yourself very informed so that you know when to proceed with your plans for your destination wedding. And my final and favorite tip is consider a virtual wedding. So whether on Skype, on Zoom, there's so many apps now that people have been using. In fact, there was one very beautiful virtual wedding that held where I stay, Abuja, Nigeria, and it was just very beautiful. It was very intimate. The bride and groom, I'm sure they were this kind of couple that said, we have to get married this year and we're not moving our dates for any reason. So what they just did was they contacted vendors who worked with them virtually. So they had a saxophonist, they had an MC who joined them online, they had their guests join them online, and the sweet thing, they even delivered food to their guests online. So what they just did is they contacted a delivery company and contacted a caterer who made packs of food and delivered to their guests. I think it's a very, very welcoming idea for me because you save costs. You don't have to think of all the money you're going to spend on your guests. So many unnecessary things will be cut off, and the most important thing is for you and your partner to be happy. You guys want to be together and you don't want to shift your date. I think that's none of anybody's business. It's a very, very sweet and intimate decision that you and your partner can take. You can also go for the option of just being joined together that's church blessings, or if you're a Muslim, an imam will bless your marriage. And after the pandemic is over, you can now do a reception where your guests will come together and party. But for now, you know that you and your partner are legally joined together and married, and I think that's what really matters, for you and your partner to be happy. So you and your partner can actually make that decision. Lastly, I want to sincerely sympathize with everyone who has been affected by this pandemic. It could be your business, it could be your job, it could be that you're a bride and your wedding had to be moved. Almost everyone this pandemic has really taken a toll on everyone and has affected our lives in so many different ways. So just know that as a bride, you're not alone. You need to accept the situation so that you don't get frustrated as you plan your wedding. Don't go about planning your wedding feeling very unhappy, feeling like the whole world is on top of your head. I mean, everyone in the world is actually going through the same thing, except that you're planning your wedding. So you and your partner need to sit down together, encourage each other. Wedding planning as a whole, generally, even when you have a planner, can be very frustrating. Not to talk of now that there is now something that is restricting a lot of your plans. Sometimes take a break off the planning process and just enjoy yourself, and know that everything, and I mean everything, will be fine, and your big day will come. You're gonna have fun. You're going to dance like you've never danced before. But before that day comes, make sure to enjoy the process and just accept all of this. Soak it all in, because one day it's going to be a great story to tell. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you gained 1 or 2 tips. If you know someone who is getting married, even if you don't know anybody who is getting married, you can share this video. It's going to be very useful to someone out there. Share it on all your social media platforms. You're free. Share it. Like this kind of content and you would like to see more, please tell me in the comment section below. And if you have more tips to guide a bride or a groom on how to plan their wedding during this period of COVID-19, please, you can also leave some of your tips, because people will read the comments and find them useful. So leave your tips in the comment section below. Let's interact in the comment section anyways. Share with me what you think about what I've shared so far. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, please go and subscribe, because I'll be putting out more content. Give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.